So last Sunday, we uncovered the number one thing that blocks Christians from true wealth: misalignment with God's mindset. And if you missed that episode, I encourage you gotta go back and watch it, because today's message is building off that very truth. Because here's the thing, alignment sets the stage, but it's definitely not the end of the story. Because once aligned, God unlocks something even greater: multiplication. And so today we're gonna talk about the kingdom key that makes multiplication possible. So let's create the very foundation of the question what multiplication is and what it's not. In Matthew chapter 25, it gives us the parable of the talents. A master gives one servant 5 bags of gold, another 2, and another 1. And when the master returns, the first 2 have multiplied the gold that the master had given the servants. But the third one, instead of multiplying what the master had given him, out of fear, he buried his talent. And here's what's important. Multiplication in the kingdom isn't just about profit, it's about stewardship. God doesn't reward the amount necessarily, because they all didn't end with the same number. But what God does reward is faithfulness to what he entrusted you with. So let's talk about why fear blocks this multiplication process. The servant that buried his bag of gold didn't do it because he was lazy. He did it because he was afraid. And here's something you have to remember. It is fear that always buries true potential. So the misalignment that we talked about last week gives fear room to grow. So what's another name for fear? It's called playing it safe. It's holding back and missing multiplication altogether. But the key isn't just simply avoiding fear. It's about stepping into faith-filled action. So when you think about the kingdom key, look at it as unlocking a certain part of mindset. The mindset that unlocks the multiplication through faithful stewardship. And what does stewardship means? It means that you have an understanding that what you have, you actually don't own, but it actually belongs to God. And when you treat it that way, you don't bury it, you build it. Luke 16:10 says this: whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with very much. Because it is faithful stewardship is what makes God trust you with multiplication. So you ever had that aha moment where someone just turns on the lights in the very dark, confusing part of your brain? You're like, oh, this actually makes sense now. So I want to share that moment with you because it really humbled me. So I remember this time in my business where I was asking God for the next increase. I wanted the next big deal or the next breakthrough. But the Lord stopped me in my prayer, and this is what he said: how are you stewarding what I already gave you? And it was in that very moment where I felt like it hit me like a bolt of lightning. I realized that I was chasing multiplication without first being faithful. And that light bulb moment was this: God does not multiply what you wish for. He multiplies what you faithfully steward. And it was that very shift that changed my entire outlook. I started treating every resource, every opportunity, and every relationship like it was kingdom property. And that, my friend, is exactly when things really begin to multiply. So that financial breakthrough that you've been waiting for is actually just simply adjusting your mindset from looking at things like they're your own and looking at it like, God, this belongs to you. This is not mine. I'm only stewarding that which you have entrusted me with. So it's through that simple mind shift that you start removing this pressure off of you. When you go from treating everything like it's yours to realizing that everything belongs to God and you're only stewarding that which the Lord entrusts you with. Because the Bible says that the earth is God's and the fullness therein. So friend, if you believe that you own anything in this life, you are sadly mistaken. You only have what you have because God allowed you to have it. Because the Bible also says that it is the Lord that makes rich and poor. So keep that in mind next time you start claiming things like they belong to you. They belong to God. So how do you step into multiplication today? What do you do? And so I'm going to go ahead and give you these 3 practical steps to do that. Number 1, audit your stewardship. So look at what God has already given you. Are you maximizing it, or are you burying it because of fear of losing it? Number 2, learn to take faithful risks. Multiplication requires movement. The servants doubled their talents by trading and engaging, not by hiding it. And number 3, probably the most important one, connect your wealth to kingdom purpose. Multiplication happens when what you build serves something bigger than yourself. And it is these steps that turn theory into practice and practice into multiplication. But let me warn you, multiplication without alignment is very dangerous. Like if you multiply the wrong thing like fear, greed, and self, it literally destroys instead of builds. And that's why last week's teaching matters so much. And if you haven't watched it, do it before you apply this message. Because multiplication without alignment leads to ruin, but multiplication with alignment leads to legacy. So today I challenge you with this. Stop burying what God gave you, but instead start stewarding faithfully and watch Him multiply it beyond your imagination. So I encourage you to download my free Biblical Wealth Starter Kit to reset your foundation. And if you're ready to walk into true multiplication, aligned with God's blueprint, join me inside Aligned and Abundant Intensive. That's where this head knowledge goes from true life transformation. Hey, thank you so much for watching this episode. Make sure you like and subscribe, hit the little bell button. It really helps this channel grow and continue developing and creating messages just like this to help you grow and develop the way God called you to be. I pray you have a blessed week, and I'll catch you in the next video.